Hello, everyone, and welcome wherever you're watching to another video episode of Customer Experience Myth Busting, hosted by Customer Show. My name's Darren Wake, and delighted once again to be joined by Ian Golding. Ian, welcome. Thanks again.
Lovely to be with you as always, Darren.
Thank you, Ian. So if you're new to these videos, we've done quite a few of them now, so hopefully you've seen a few of them on LinkedIn and other channels. This is where we pose a statement to Ian for him to give his view on it and decide really, is it a myth or isn't it a myth? These are often long-held beliefs that CX teams have. And Ian can impart his wisdom on it and decide whether it's a myth or isn't it. These are all totally unknown to Ian before the video, so we kind of try and catch you out, Ian.
I have no idea what you're going to ask me,
Yeah,
Darren.
so it's just totally unknown, unbeknown to him. We'd love your engagement in these videos as well. So if there's other questions you'd like us to ask going forward, please do get involved. So asking this from, if you imagine me as Mr. CX manager for a moment. So here it is. I need senior and exec level buy-in to make significant changes in customer experience, else I just can't make anything happen.
Oh, what a question. See, all of these questions are such brilliant questions. And I'm not just saying that because it's you that has posed this to me, Darren.
Thank you.
But it's an interesting one. So I won't say whether it's a myth or not yet. But I was asked this question for the first time, probably, I don't know, maybe 2014, something like that, was when someone first asked me, do I need senior leadership to make this work? Otherwise, there's no point. And my response to the question was, at the time, having only been an independent consultant for 2 years at that point, so most of my career had been on the inside of corporate organizations, that...
Hey, sorry for interrupting the video, but I'll be quick. Now, is your VoC program really making an impact, or are hidden gaps really holding you back? Take our free VoC maturity assessment to get instant insights and actions to improve your VoC program. It only takes 5 minutes and you'll be closer to take your VoC program to the next level. Click the first comment to find out more. Now, let's get back to the video.
In principle, transformation of anything can be done even without the support of senior leadership. In principle, nothing is impossible. However, if you are trying to change something without the support of leadership, it requires, in reality, a revolution. If you're going to go from the bottom up, you need a revolution. And I don't know who is watching this, where you're watching it from, but in history, revolutions don't necessarily go particularly well. It is very, very difficult to try and convince leadership to focus on something when you're getting a huge group of people from the ground upwards trying to convince them. It's not impossible, but it is not necessarily going to be effective, and it is not going to be something that can happen very quickly. In practice, if you're going to get traction from even focusing on customer experience, it needs to come from the top. And in my experience, when I say from the top, my experience is from the very top. A lot of the work I've done over the years, I've been brought in at the middle. I've not been brought in by a CEO. I've been brought in from the middle. So to a degree, you're working up and down. You're trying to convince both the top table and the masses that this is the right thing to do. And that's really hard. Ultimately, we are trying to change the nature of the way an organization thinks and acts. if you haven't got the ability to get the authority from the very top to change some fundamental things, like performance management, for example, it's very difficult to do. Can you create a huge amount of excitement? A huge amount? Yeah, yes. But if ultimately the mechanics of the way the organization operates, how it makes decisions, if that doesn't change, you're going to find it very difficult to sustain the focus.
Mm,
In reality, where I have seen customer experience be most successful in its adoption is when it's been CEO led.
mm.
That is the
Yeah,
reality.
yeah.
And led by a CEO who has stayed in place for a significant length of time.
Interesting. Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and this in a way describes one of the reasons why what we do is so challenging,
Mm,
because customer experience is a long-term strategy.
yeah.
No, but trying to get any organization to sustain the focus for a long time on anything, it is quite difficult. Anything other than sales, that is. Sustaining the focus in the long term on sales is quite easy,
Yeah.
but sustaining the focus on anything else is very challenging. But
Mm,
you've got a far greater likelihood of sustaining the focus if this is built into the way the leadership team operate.
yeah.
You've got an even greater chance if this is something that the owners of the business believe in. So
Mm,
even beyond the CEO, the shareholders, if
yeah.
they are completely bought into this as being their raison d'etre, then you're in a very so just sticking with the French Revolution theme, then
Nice.
you're in a good position. So the answer to the question is that is not a myth.
Mm,
That is in reality the reality.
yeah.
And if you're watching this thinking, I don't have the support of senior leadership, because it's very possible people will be watching this thinking that doesn't mean stop, that doesn't mean give up, but it means that your absolute priority is to get leadership into a place where they can understand the impact this will have.
Yeah.
It's why the rhetoric around needing to know what the return on investment for customer experience, it's not rhetoric, it's just vitally important.
Mm,
If we cannot demonstrate the impact a customer led approach will have, we're not going to get leaders to support what we're trying to do. Whether it's the right thing or not is not even the point. They need to understand the impact.
yeah.
And most of us who believe in the inference of what we're trying to do, sometimes we think it's our belief is enough. It isn't. And the biggest mistake, one of the biggest mistakes I made in the early stage of my career, is that my approach to customer experience was led by emotion.
Mm,
Darren, you've known me for a long time, and in fact, you knew me in one of the early parts of my career.
yes. Yeah.
My passion is sort of quite evident,
Mm,
but I almost let my passion lead the conversation, and that was wrong. I'm not saying lose the passion, but what I needed to lead with was fact,
yeah.
and I didn't lead with fact. I didn't lead with impact. I led with, "Why don't you believe me?" Yeah, and that is not the way we need to influence senior leaders. We need that passion, but that to come behind the facts and to
Yeah.
almost amplify the facts.
Yeah.
So long-winded way of saying it's a myth. We do need the support of senior leadership.
Yeah, yeah. No, some fascinating insights, Ian. Thank you for sharing those. And I love the French references as well, by the way. That was really good. So I won't try any French of my own, but yeah, I kind of echo those comments really. When we work with organizations, where we see it work best is there is a because customers, all the clients, organizations always say they're customer centric, they put the customer at heart of what they do, it runs in their DNA, but all too often, I'm sure you've encountered this as well, Ian, saying it and doing the do and walking the walk are two different things, actually. And the CX teams where they've got it really, really embedded through the culture from the top down, like you say, owners involved as well, if living and breathing this, their success is far amplified. You know, it's the impact they have in terms of in making a difference to the customers is far greater than those that don't. So, yeah, really, really interesting. And echo on your points as well. Don't give up if that's the
No,
case.
no, no. It,
But yeah, it is what it
yeah,
is.
you've almost got to increase the intensity, but
Absolutely.
base that intensity on fact.
Yeah, yeah.
Fact and impact. That's what will get them to wake up and smell the coffee.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Fascinating, fascinating. To people watching this, I hope you found that useful. If you're in an organization or perhaps in the past have worked in an organization that's had those challenges, would love you to perhaps get involved in any perhaps tips or ideas or insights that you've shared that have helped elevate the importance of CX at the top tables, because it is a challenge, and as Ian says, an all too common one. So if you've got any observations or thoughts that you would help other watchers of these videos and the content, then please do get involved. Ian, thanks once again.
Pleasure as always.
Absolutely brilliant, and I've no doubt we'll speak again at some point with
Well, I'm
more.
waiting for a question that flummoxes me, Darren. So
Well,
stay tuned, everyone. You never know.
I am trying. I'm trying and trying to keep it on topic as well. Not. You know, who's going to win the next World Cup, which will be a conversation about that one. Thanks, Ian, and
Pleasure.
speak soon. Thanks
See you
everyone
next
for
time.
watching. Thank you. Bye bye.